everyone. This is logic coding. As you can see, I'm back into practicing some problems through Leetcode just to get familiar with data structure and some basic algorithms. Today we're going to look at problem 22, generate parentheses. So we are given just integer n, and we need to write a function to generate all the combinations of well-formed parentheses. I think it's pretty clearly defined problem. So the input is n. Basically, we need to have n left bracket as well as n right bracket to generate a parenthesis, and output is well-formed parenthesis. Basically, we need to make sure that the number of left brackets is matches number of right brackets, and the left is also always bigger, greater or equal than the number of right until the very end they are equal. So this is like a search kind of template problem. So we need to use the idea of backtracking to form to append to the answers. So we can use the backtrack template to solve this kind of problems. And the time complexity is pretty standard, since at each step we would have two choices, whether to append a left bracket or a right bracket. So the time complexity will be 2 to the power of n, and the space complexity will be given by recursion, which will actually be O n, I think. Okay, cool. Now let's start coding. So as I mentioned, this is a template. This is a backtracking template problem. So for such template, we always declare the answer as whatever we need to return. And during, we just use a backtrack helper function to help us track this. So we pass this L. For this problem specifically, let's also pass the number of left bracket, the number of right bracket, as well as we use a string equal to current, and we initialize as an empty string current as well as the answer. Now let's see how exactly are we going to define this backtracking helper function. Use DFS. So we pass my left, pass my right, and let's pass this string, and we would have a vector of string, pass its reference, and then for backtrack we always have end condition, and we have decision at this step. So the end condition would be I have exactly n number of left bracket, I have exactly n number of right bracket, and at this step I would just be able to push back this current, because then this current string will satisfy all the requirements I can return. Otherwise, I have two choices. I can either add a left bracket or add a right bracket. As long as my L is smaller than n, I have the choice of adding a left bracket, which would be L plus 1 R. Current would be add a left bracket. This is how we add a character to an existing string. I'll just do answer. Otherwise, only when the left is smaller than the right, we can add a right side bracket to balance this string. Let's do current plus right, and I'll have answer. Let's try and submit this. Cool. Since the this is a pretty standard backtracking problem, I'm just going to do more parentheses as well as DFS related problems in the next few videos. Stay tuned.